Hey guys, it's me Cosmic, and today we're going to talk about furry hate. Specifically, why furries get hated quite a lot, especially on the internet. Now, in order to make this easy and simple to understand, we are going to look at 5 main reasons. These 5 will be main because they are the most obvious and common ones. Number 1, just simple ignorance. Many have never even seen a furry before, and as a result, when they hear about furries, it's usually whatever is the big talking point related to furries at the time that they hear about. Which unfortunately is usually either a huge drama, or a bad actor, or simply just misinformation circulated on the internet, or a YouTube video dedicated to rat bastards like Sappho, for example. Fuck that bastard. And because topics like this get talked about everywhere and thousands of commentary channels just jump on it immediately, it ends up having a magnifying glass effect, which also enables frequency illusion, also known as the Bader-Meinhof effect. It's a cognitive bias where something you heard or saw seems to appear everywhere, making it seem way more common than it actually is. Now, speaking of misinformation, this brings us to number 2. As the furry fandom grew and got more popular, it gained the attention of the media. Unfortunately. I say unfortunately because these are the same kind of people that would gladly sell out their own parents for some extra clicks.
Courtney is a furry, one of a growing number of people who believe that they are part human, part animal.
For fuck's sake, National Geographic. You were my fucking childhood. Also, the people that think they are genuinely in some way connected to being an animal, those are farians, not furries. They're similar, but different.
He's out of his gourd. He ate a handful of magic mushrooms, and now he's wandering around the desert, higher than a kite. At the end of the day...
Do I even need to explain how fucking ridiculous this is? You're in the middle of a desert, and somehow, you just so happen to have found yourself in the middle of a furry orgy. In the fucking desert. Do you have any idea what heat strokes are?
Randy came upon a group of
hell.
furry. What's a furry? People who like to put on animal costumes and get together for fun things like group sex.
Strong odor of chlorines. What? Spread?
I think they had to evacuate the building and everything.
You're laughing at a fucking gas leak where people could have died. I want you to take a moment, right? Imagine that this wasn't a furry convention, and imagine this was like a school, and a gas leak happened at school and children were at big risk. Do you think they would be laughing then? No, of course they fucking wouldn't, now would they? Well, outside of the camera they absolutely would. These are soulless scumbags. But that's a different story. There have been many reports ranging from simply just inaccurate to straight up just malicious ignorance. And the most common misinformation that is spread, at least as far as I can tell, is that the furry fandom is entirely, keyword there being entirely, sexual. Which, to put it simply, is complete fucking bollocks. I want you to take a look at this delicious pizza right here, alright? Now, we're going to slice this by 4. One of those slices is community, the other one is art, the other one is NSFW, and the other one is whatever you want to pick, right? By taking only the NSFW slice and then leaving the rest of it out, you're already being very disingenuous in the first place. Are you really going to take that one single slice, the NSFW one, and then just let the rest of it rot away or throw it into the trash? Of course not, you're gonna eat the whole fucking delicious pizza. No, in hindsight, using pizza as an example in a furry related video was probably a bad idea. If you know, you know. But hey, I'm a little hungry at the moment, so let me actually go get myself something to eat real quick. I'll be back. There we go, let's get some sriracha. Okay, alright, I'm back. So the point is, the furry fandom since day one has never been an entirely, again keyword entirely, sexual thing, sexual community. It has had a sexual part to it. The key word here being part. It has always had a sexual part to it since day one, that is true. But it was never just that. Now, this specific topic is in, oh no, these two consenting adults are having sex in a suit, oh my god, how dare they mentality does make me think that the people that do that are just mad because even furries are able to get their dicks wet while the only thing they are getting close to fucking is themselves. Anyways, instead of taking the time to look at it from both sides, as in, taking a look at both the community side and the sexual side, taking a look at the bad actors and the good actors and so on, and just being critical, they instead just take whatever they have heard and ran with it. After all, it gives them something to be a dick about without having to deal with their own conscience. Add to this some herd group mentality, mob mentality, and yeah, conscience is basically just gone at that point. Number 4. The other thing is cringe culture. Now, cringe culture is absolute garbage to begin with. Cringe culture is pretty much just an excuse to be a dick to someone. At least to me, that's what it is. Also, notice how in a lot of cringe compilations, autistic people are usually tied to it and made fun of. Sometimes it's straight up just bullying an autistic person for being autistic, which is quite the dick thing to do. It's quite telling that these are the same dickheads that will be like, oh, mental health matters in a public setting, until the mental health issue they encounter isn't an aesthetic one. Fuck you. Number 5. Hating on queer folk without saying, I hate queer folk. This may sound a bit confusing at first, so let me explain. So, although the LGBTQ+ community is a separate community of its own, because a significant chunk of furries also happen to be queer folk, they overlap to a certain extent. And in our current time period, it is no longer acceptable to be straight up just discriminatory towards LGBT folk, which resulted in these assholes having to find a way to mask it, and the furries and furry hate can be used as a way of masking their hatred. They can basically mask their hatred of queer folk as hating furries instead. This allows them to get away with it. Now, although everything I have said so far may lead you to think that the furry hate has always been extremely common and will continue to be, however, it's actually getting lower. It may not seem like it, but if you take a moment and simply observe, and well, you will notice that you see and come across furries more often than in the past. Sure, it's still pretty bad, make no mistake. Unfortunately, it's still pretty bad, but progress is being made. Ever since people noticed that, hey, maybe bullying people for enjoying a hobby isn't exactly an acceptable behavior, now is it? Yeah. Before I end this video, I would like to remind you important things related to this topic. 1. Social media, unfortunately, is just always extremely toxic. Mainly because toxicity on the social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, and so on, it's pretty much rewarded and promoted. Which, as a result, a lot of dickheads just do it. Now, a thing that needs to be remembered is that by interacting with these people on their posts specifically, we end up providing them support. See, the algorithm does not care if you made a positive or negative comment. The algorithm doesn't see positive or negative. What it does see is, did you comment on it or not? And if it did, it's going to think, oh hey, you must enjoy this, so here, have some more. And to the person that has posted it, it will basically go, what you have posted has gotten the interest of someone. I will promote it more so that more people see it. That's how the algorithm works. The best thing that you can do is click on options, and first click the option that says something along the lines of I'm not interested in this post. After doing that, you then block them. Once this happens enough times, the algorithm will start to notice that. They won't notice the negativity, but they will notice that people keep skipping that post, so they're not going to promote it as much. Number 2. Most of the people that spew just unreasonable hatred towards furries, to put it simply, they're just a bunch of dickheads, ignorant assholes. Like, their thoughts, their ideas and so on, it simply does not matter. Like, am I really going to take a complete dickhead seriously? Of course not. And neither should you. That's what I wanted to get at. If you enjoy what you are doing, enjoy what you enjoy. There will always be a few other people that also enjoy what you do, simply because of just how things are. The people that don't enjoy it, obviously don't be, just malicious towards them, but if they're being malicious towards you, remember that these are just a bunch of ignorant dickheads. They do not matter. Their thoughts just do not matter. So although it may annoy you, once it has done annoyed you, try not to dwell on it too much because, again, it's just not worth your time. A bunch of thoughts of some dickheads, it does not matter, it does not have any value to it. It's basically just verbal vomit and trash. And trash is to be discarded. Sure, trash smells bad, which is annoying, but once you have thrown that into the trash, the smell is gone. So, yeah. Basically what I'm trying to say. And that is going to be about it for this video. I hope to see you again later some other time. Goodbye.